All right, good day, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fighting Peaches. In this edition, we have Georgia State women's soccer player Aaliyah Fadduol. And before we get to that, as always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. And you can also go to our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter/X, and Facebook. Go there under the Sports Inquirer or email ourselves too. And then finally, subscribe and share and follow all of our audio and video contents on our platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, and more. Okay, as I mentioned, this edition of Fighting Peaches features Aaliyah Fadduol, player from Georgia State women's soccer. Let's bring Aaliyah on right now.
Hello.
All right, Aaliyah.
Thanks for having me.
Aaliyah. Yeah, welcome to the show. And we were just talking off camera about your journey from Canada to the United States. Before we get to the season, I'm very intrigued by that myself. How does a Canadian find themselves as a soccer player in Atlanta, Georgia?
Okay, so for me, the part of Canada that I'm from is like super like on the cusp of the United States. So like I always tell like people, it's like the most like southern part of like Canada. Like we're like false Canadians. We're so close to the Michigan side. So like I'm right across, like the bridge is right there. So I mean, I've crossed over the bridge and played soccer in the States my entire life. That's how I knew I was going to play soccer on the state side. But I have family here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually my mom's twin sister. So she told me, come on out to Atlanta. I know so many people love Georgia State. Like, you definitely got to go to ID camp. And then that's kind of how that all came about.
Yeah, and what's it been like playing in Atlanta, Georgia? And you said kind of it seems like family reunion as well. How's that experience been like for you, just being able to play in the United States and also close to your extended family?
I mean, playing close to my extended family is like awesome. Like they support me like with everything. They come to every scrimmage, every game, everything. And whenever I want a little home cooked meal, I head on over and it's a great like family reunion, like you said. But playing in Atlanta is definitely a different ball game than playing in Canada or in Michigan. Like the level is high, you know, like stronger, faster, like everything. So, I mean, it's exactly what I want, you know, that's what I knew that I wanted coming into college is a better level. It's the next step up, you know, so I love playing in Atlanta. It's a great environment.
Yeah. And just what have you say stronger and just physical? How's that adjustment? You're a sophomore now. So what was that adjustment like last year? And you were able to thrive in that and being a leading scorer for the team and one of the top players in conference.
Yeah, I mean, like hard work, you know, like as soon as I came here, it's kind of like a culture shock. I'm like, wow, I'm a little bit too scrawny. I'm not all that tall, you know, like I gotta let the ball do the talking, you know, because I know that I'm not going to outmuscle our biggest center back or outrun everybody on that field, you know. So I had to like do as much as I could with the ball. Like when I get the ball, I drive towards net. Like, what can I do? What pass can I find? What assist can I make? What shot can I score? You know what I mean? But as the year went on and we started our weightlifting program and training, like I got more used to the training environment. I'd say like I kind of just eased into it, you know, but it definitely is stronger, bigger, faster game.
Yeah, and now that you are coming into your sophomore year, how was this off season for you, knowing the experience of collegiate soccer compared to this time last year when you had not played Division One yet at this level?
Okay, so for that, I'm gonna say coming into it, you have like a freshman hunger and everything. So I like knew I had to prove myself, and I did. So now that I did prove myself, I know that I have a target on my back, you know, like I'm going into a season where people know my name, they know what I do, they know my tendencies, my movements, like they're going to know this stuff. So I have to bring more this season. Like sophomore year is like, I can't like just be satisfied with my freshman year, you know, like I'm happy it happened. Great experiences, great outcome. But this year has to be a step up 100%, especially because people now know my name and everything. So I think that's it. I'm just moving day by day, getting better. That's it.
Yeah, and how do you do that? How do you get better? What are some of the steps you've taken to improve as a player?
So for that, I mean, I could tell you I practice and I lift and I eat good and I recover. But like I always tell myself, like, why am I here? Like I love this sport. I come here with a smile on my face. I love my teammates. I love my coaches. I love this environment. So the way that I better myself is I tell myself, relax, like have fun. This is a game, you know, like I love this game. When I do my best when I have fun. So if I'm there and I'm all tense and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do so good and I got to get better, like I think I put too much pressure on myself. I relax, I have fun, you know, I laugh with my teammates. And then when the ball comes to my feet, it's natural. I train my whole life for this, you know? So of course I keep training, I eat healthy, but I also have fun, you know?
Yeah, and we just spoke with the head coach Ed Joyce for our season preview with him, and we talked about just the environment of the program and how many players have stuck around multiple years. You have fourth and fifth year seniors that have played with the program in their entire tenure, which is in this era of college athletics, I'm sure as you know, is uncommon. But what is the environment like for you having veterans there and having the same coaching staff and that continuity as an entire program?
Yeah, so you're right. Like this era of soccer with the transfer portal and this and that makes it so easy for players to leave if they don't see what they like. But see, when I come in and I see girls who are like, no, like crying when they have to leave and staying fifth years as long as they can, you know, that indicated me as soon as I came in, I'm like, this is going to be a good environment. But I mean, I've made like best friends with everybody on the team, and that ranges all the way from fifth year, so I'm going to be heartbroken that leave me this year, and all the way to the freshmen. Now that I'm a sophomore, now I see all these freshmen, and I think it's like it just says a lot when it's so easy to transfer and this and that now, but nobody wants to on this team. Like it's a great environment to say the least.
Yeah, and last season, the team had a winning record, made second round of the conference tournament. Oh, what are you looking to carry over from last year to improve on? And just what are some things that you saw from last year that you want to work on as a team to make that next step to contend for a conference championship?
Right. I mean, last year it was more like taking it game by game, like let's keep winning and this and that. But I think this year, like we genuinely have the talent to take it there. Like let's go to the championship. Let's make the NCAA tournament. Like we need to win this year 100%. But I think that taking what we can take from last year is definitely like the same energy, the same attitudes. Like we were awesome, but what we need to improve on is like keep going hard every practice. Like don't cut a set in your lift. Like eat a tad bit healthier, you know, go on, take that extra step because that's what the other teams are doing, you know? So it's just like taking that extra step in general that we can do this year. But I think overall we take a big chunk from last year and carry it to this year.
Yeah, and before we get to the actual start of the season, I was doing my research too, and I see that you are into fashion, and I think I saw that you're that it, no, and you can elaborate on that. This is a platform if you have a because no NIL and
Yeah.
other this is student athletes have really taken advantage of the opportunity to do that. But elaborate on that. Is that something that the brand you can as I you can elaborate on it what's that? Have you? Is that something you've been into? Is that something in the future that you want to find yourself more involved in?
For me, like I've always grown up like loving like fashion and this is so crazy. Like just like shopping and having like people to go shopping with. So like I've been really into shoes for the longest time. So like I just got a recent pair of Adidas's. They're the Adidas campuses and I literally love them. Like I want to start my whole new collection of those. But like what I do is I get a cute little pair of shoes and then I match my outfit to whatever shoe I get. So I love shopping. Even yesterday, I went with my mom and my sister who are now visiting in Atlanta and like watching these next couple games. We went to the mall and I love shopping. So I love taking pictures in my new outfits. I love posting it. Fashion is like something I think that it's not something I'm going to pursue in the future, but it's something I'm going to carry on my entire life because I love it. I love it.
But I saw on your Instagram, it sounded like you were modeling for a campaign. Just a lot. That's what I was talking about. It's good to know
Yeah.
about your shopping and into that, but no,
Oh, yeah.
specifically about that campaign. And is that
Oh,
something
okay.
you,
So
yeah, is that something you want to expand on in the future? Now,
I would
and get
love
more
to,
involved in
yeah.
that?
That campaign is for a brand called Club 60. Literally, my entire family wears it. It's actually my cousin's brand, and he's doing really, really well here in Atlanta. So for the modeling aspect of things, absolutely, I would love that. Love, love, love. I like taking pictures. I like doing all of it. So I definitely represented Club 60 for a while. I loved it.
Yeah, and what's that like having the family involved? And do you see designing or being and more on that side of things as well as you continue to pursue maybe some activities off the pitch?
Yes. So 100%. So my cousin, like it's actually the one that lives here in Atlanta with my aunt. It's my aunt's son. So I see how hard he works, like, and he has like a whole setup and graphic designer and fitting and everything. And I think it is so interesting because like that's his craft, you know, like soccer's my craft and that's his craft. But I enjoy his craft so much. Like the least I could do is model for it. And like I love it. I'm so inspired. It's awesome for him.
Yeah, that's good. We're keeping track of that. And finally, the team has its season opener this week. What's the anticipation level? It's been months of training and preparing for the starting of the regular season. How's the team coming into it, and what's the anticipation level for this year overall?
I think right off the get go on day one, when we ran that Abib test, and everybody, like even from last year, everybody topped themselves. The incoming freshmen did amazing. Like we had to get 40, like we did fantastic. So already coming in, our fitness level is high and indicates a good season, you know? So coming up, we play Chattanooga as our first opening game. And I think we take our preseason and our exhibition games and we take all the good bits and pieces and everything and fix the bad, and we're going to bring it all to this game. Chattanooga last year, great team, you know, like strong, organized. And I think that if we just bring what we know, like we work as a team, we have a deep bench. If we get tired, we can make that step. We have a deep bench. We have girls that came in strong. We're ready, you know? So I think that as long as we play for each other and not just for ourselves, then we're going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
and we'll be keeping track of everything taking place throughout this year.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marcel. It was a pleasure being here.
All right, and that was Aaliyah from Georgia State Women's Soccer. Thank you, Aaliyah, for joining us. And as always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look us up under Sports Inquirer. And then finally, make sure you like, share, and follow everything on our audio and video platforms. That includes YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.